私は断じておばさん予備軍ではない。かわいそう。いざ尋常に。
How sad. Oh boy. Forever alone with my food.
ここからが腕の見せ場ね。まだ油断はできない。
I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, like, so remember you were just saying, like, leave me alone, I'm reading my book, and you're like, foolish younger self, why aren't you talking to them? That could lead to relationships and blah blah blah. Why? And it's just like, well, why aren't you doing that right now? You're doing the same exact thing. And I'm like, I guess I kind of sort of am. But part of me is like, no, I'm not. This is different. I don't know. History repeats itself. Ignore me. I'm trying to read a book here. Stop trying to have a conversation with me. But I don't know. I guess it depends on the person, because I know that sometimes when I'm doing that, I'm reading a book and then, like, a coworker that I actually deal with more on like a more common basis is just like, oh, hi, how are you doing? And I'll like mark my spot in my book and talk to them for a little bit, and it's like the conversation's done, then well, I go back to reading my book, and they go about how they are enjoying their break, be it watching a TV, fiddling with their phones, or whatever else, just like spacing out and trying to take like a 15-minute nap, whatever that may be. And again, that's just what you call it, being prejudiced to people I don't have a pre-established relationship with. How do you expect to build up new relationships and make new friends if you're so preoccupied with just talking with the people you already know? You should branch out and meet new people. You have no idea what future awaits you if you actually reach out and listen to the other folks and give them a chance, and this, that, the other, and important social aspects of integrational societal pressures and nonsensical blah 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 blahs, and giving people a chance and reaching out and networking with other people, and you never know when these contexts might help you out in the future, and you never know this, that, the other. So be cool and awesome and learn to respect your fellow men and co-workers, because you never know somewhere in the future that if you ignore them now, that they'll someday be there for you, or be that person who's like, oh, I remember this person when we were in this position. They were always so cold to me. I should just be cold right back to them and not even give them a chance. I'm just like, he's like, wait, don't I know you? It's like, yeah, we worked here before. It's like, oh, huh, okay. Moving on with life. Just like poor Hanzo here. Shoveling down pizza and getting locked into his room. Sorry, the self-reflection is what it is.
蝶と呼ばれる料理人、少しは近づけているのかしら。
Rin is victorious.
無駄のないデカ盛りだ。
Dang, I was terrible. And somehow I got an A. The age preparation army is so cruel. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking to myself, like, Bebe-tan is blocking Murasaki quite effectively, and yet you still get the...
勝った。ついに勝ったのだな。これで私はあの頃に戻れる。若くてピチピチだった青春の日々に。もう顔の小じわを気にすることはない。お酒を飲んで鬱憤を晴らすことも必要ない。二度とは手に入らぬと思っていた若さ、それが今私の元に帰ってくるのだ。私の願いはキラキラと輝いていたあの頃に戻ることだ。
I raise the secret ninja art scroll and ask for its power. Instantly, countless streaks of warm light flow from the scroll and wrap around my body.
これは眉。なんて気持ちがいいの。
As the warmth envelops and relaxes me, I ready myself for the moment I dreamed of. The one where I transform from a cocoon to a chrysalis. And it happens. I become a beautiful butterfly. So you had brown hair before. I emerge from the chrysalis wearing a sailor uniform. Nothing feels wrong at all. I'm on a whole different tier from Miyabi and Emu now. I have an aura of a high school girl.
これよ。私が求めていたのはこの感覚なのよ。
I see the world as if for the first time, and I love everything in it. Even if I trip, I go on smiling. I'm engulfed in rapture.
今の私なら何でもできる気がする。
In the back of my mind, a bittersweet memory rises. With a spring in my step, I turn and head toward him.
イリア先生、ずっとお慕いしていました。
Okie dokie. That was definitely an interesting ending. Huh. But you know, thinking about it is like, I'm remembering back from like middle school, and one of the friends I made was just something really simple. Really simple. It was just like, what was it? It was like during like a school dance, and it's like the classroom was just full of people who didn't feel like participating in it, and there were like, it was like there was like a mix of people who couldn't go because they were doing bad in school. They didn't have the grades, and thus they didn't have the faculty permission to even have the chance to go. So they were doing makeup courses and stuff. And then me and a person who had become my friend, we were just sitting at a table, twiddling our thumbs. And for whatever reason, I just reached out and I just wrote on a piece of paper, and we had this conversation just on a piece of paper, and I just wrote on this piece of paper, and I just said, like, if you had the opportunity to go back in time and change something for the better, would you? And at that point, me and him, we just started talking about Chrono Trigger, because that was the whole reason why I was just thinking off the top of my head, because I was playing Chrono Trigger at the time, and I didn't know if he ever had a Super Nintendo or if he even heard of Chrono Trigger, but I just started talking about Chrono Trigger, and he got intrigued, and he actually had never played it before. And I introduced him to Chrono Trigger. We'd take turns, we'd like go to each other's houses just to play the game, and it was awesome. And of course, we branched up from there. It was like I had like Nintendo games, and he had PlayStation. There's like, I feel like I may have told this story already, but it was like, I would go to his house and we'd just play the PlayStation games until he also had a Super Nintendo that got passed off, but he had different games than what I had, so it was always interesting, because we'd go to his house and play games that only he had, and then we'd go to my house and we'd play games that only I had. And he had mostly single-player games because he was like an only child, and I had most of these multiplayer games because I had my brother and sister, and we always had to play games we always had to have games so that all of us could play the game. Aw, see, they did it again. They did. So yes, that was Rin's story. I did it. I finished Idoji and Rin, and so this is done. There's no more stories. It's just the different battles. So yes, it's come to an end. So thank you all very much for watching. And ciao for now. Ciao for now.